being clear and direct in the bedroom, especially if that means being clear about what you don't know or what you would like to find out about her, wow, puts you in, top percentiles of lovers on the planet, actually. Because even if a guy has got lots of sexual experience, but he's arrogant and he doesn't care about what the other person wants, or he thinks he knows everything, and he does the same thing on every woman, he could actually be a way worse lover than the guy that's fairly inexperienced, doesn't really know, but is eager to learn and is direct in his communication about how to find out what the woman wants. So we've talked about 4 kind of primary areas where directness is going to be really important. That is at the front end on the approach, letting her know why you're there, what you think about her. That is secondarily continuing this from once we've got a contact detail, setting up a date, being clear about the logistics, moving on it quickly. Thirdly, moving into the date space itself, and then moving into extracting, right? Or like leading this to a place where you guys can get naked. Yeah, this ability to decide at the end of the date and not to drag it on for as long as it could. A good date is an hour, 2 tops. Right, most of my dates are, 1 drink, 1 coffee, a walk, and then an attempt to take her somewhere private. Doesn't always work, cool. We can have another date, we can do that again, but sitting opposite or like having a 3 or 4 hour whatever with anyone is typically going to get boring after some time. So being clear and decisive about, cool, it's time to move it up. It's time to make my request. It's time to get us physically moving. It's time, multiple times, for me to touch her, to look at her with hungry eyes, to let her know that there are things that I find sexy about her. Not layering it on all the time, but when a girl does something cute or adorable, right, or it's like her beauty is growing upon me, then I'll just put those things out there. In the middle of a date, we've been chatting for some time, and I say, wow, you have such a lithe and gorgeous neck and collarbone. It's like, I want to learn how to paint just so I could paint you, right? And then I move on. Okay, that was something I noticed about the way she is. Or you are so adorable when you talk about X, because I can hear in your voice that it's something that's really important to you, but you're also a bit shy about it. Yeah, but it's sexy, or it's cute, or it's adorable, or I like that about you, or I'm liking this, or you're fun, or you're cool, or you've got a really good energy. You've got such a nice vibe about you, right? You can see that, some of those are physical, some of those are to do with the way that she is as a person and as a woman. But the way that I deliver that, the way that I look in her eyes, like it's very clear that I'm not, the gay best friend or just the friendly person who's like, oh, you've got a really nice attitude, which is a nice thing to do to people. Tell them they got nice attitudes if they do. But it's not seductive. But I don't need to be verbally blunt. That can be unintelligent to just go, your tits look incredible, or your body's really sexy, and then to tell her 2 minutes later that you find her sexy again, right? You can easily make someone feel uncomfortable, or you can come across as needy or uncalibrated, right? But to pepper that in, to let her know during the date that you're into her in some kind of way is really important, right? It again ignites this reciprocity with her where she's like, oh, I'm sexy. And he's bold enough to just say that in that way. This guy's got something, right? So the final area that I want to cover briefly today here in areas of directness is when we get to the bedroom, right? So, this is a whole other massive area of understanding. It can be understandable if you don't have so much experience, if you maybe have some kinds of performance issues or anxieties, if the girl's really fucking hot and you don't want to mess it up, or you think that she's more experienced than you and you don't know how to handle her, right? Like I get it, that it can be hard to kind of fake directness and confidence in the bedroom if you don't have it. But let me tell you like one little anecdote that might make you feel a little better. I had a client many years ago who at the time when he started training with us was a virgin, never been with anyone. Did a bunch of training, got a bunch of dates, and found himself at home with a woman. Yay, it works. Now, the woman he was with the first time was older than him, and she'd had sex before. She had experience, right? More than him, more than 0. And he was telling the story about how they got in bed and they were making out, messing around, and he was like trying to get her bra off, and he didn't know how to do it, right? And I teach you how to do that in the Master Lover Toolkit. It's relatively simple to be able to do it with one hand and click it off, and then it melts off in 1 point something seconds. He didn't know that at the time. And he's messing around, fumbling around, and at some point the girl put her hand on his chest and said, "Stop. You've never done this before, have you? You don't know what you're doing." Something like that. And he said, "No, I don't know, but I'm going to do it anyway. Help me out." All right? Now that is baller directness for aversion. Right? And then she went, "Okay, cool." And she just took the bra off and made it easy on him. And then they fumbled around. And because he told her, and he continued that, tell me what you like or how to do this, or yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. He was upfront and admitted to it. And it was bold and direct, and she was fine. Like, she was like, "Okay, cool. He doesn't know. Well, I'll train him. I'll help him out." And then they had sex, and then they dated for some time, and he got a bunch of experience, right? So being clear and direct in the bedroom, even if that is, especially if that means being clear about what you don't know or what you would like to find out about her, wow, puts you in top percentiles of lovers on the planet, actually. Because even if a guy has got lots of sexual experience, but he's arrogant and he doesn't care about what the other person wants, or he thinks he knows everything, and he does the same thing on every woman, he could actually be a way worse lover than the guy that's fairly inexperienced, doesn't really know, but is eager to learn and is direct in his communication about how to find out what the woman wants, right? Doing things such as saying, "Show me how you touch yourself, because I want to learn." Lie back, touch yourself, or get in the position that you like to touch yourself in, is extraordinarily powerful way to figure out how to touch a woman's vagina, right? And then she starts to touch herself, and then you say, "I'm going to put my hand over your hand," and then you feel, and then she shows you the stroke that she likes, the pressure, the speed, and so on. And within minutes, you could learn more about how to physically please her with your fingers than almost any other guy she's ever possibly been with. Right? So the directness when it comes to the bedroom is going to be, at many different stages. And of course, if you develop and build skill sets and proficiency in both technical understandings of different things you need to know, and very importantly, into being able to communicate well with her, then you will become a master lover. One really important and practical, takeaway that you can have from this when it comes to directness in the bedroom is the use of verbal commands, giving orders or making requests. Right? They're not orders that she can't say no to, but it's things where if I propose something or I tell her what to do, more often than not, she will, and she will love that because it means that she knows what to do. You're sitting at home on the couch, for example, and she's sat 46 centimeters away from you. You sat down, she sat down there. What I do in those situations is I turn to her and I say, "Come here." Verbal command. Now, could she say, "No, I'd rather stay over here," in which case I'll say, "No worries." And then I'll continue the conversation. But that happens rarely, right? Because if she's come home to the suction location, she likes you, more likely than not, she wants to be physically close to you. Maybe she hasn't decided whether or not she wants to sleep with you, but she probably wants to cuddle up on the couch at least, and cuddling leads to kissing. Kissing leads to spooning, and spooning leads to forking. Yeah, I think that's the sequence. Come over here. And then she comes and sits next to me, and then I put my arm around her. Or I say, "Nuzzle into me. Relax." Yeah? That command alone will make the difference between this being one of those things where two people sat on a couch talking awkwardly for an hour until she said, "Oh, I better go," and them fucking. Right? Just that one thing. Or we're sitting in whatever situation, and then I stand up and I place my hand out and I say, "Come with me." All right? The fear often, well, what if she says where? What if she says no? Yeah, women will sometimes do that, but very likely she'll say yes, and if I don't do it, she can't say yes, right? I can't expect her to jump on me. Very unlikely. "Come with me." She says where? "I want to show you around," or "Let me take you to the bedroom." Mostly she'll just put her hand out, and then you lead her. Don't yank her. I show that very clearly in the Master Lover Toolkit, the ways to physically move a woman around so it feels like she's dancing. Right? It feels like she's melting into the man's body as opposed to being yanked or pulled or tentatively kind of I don't know, lifted in some way that doesn't feel sexy. And then, okay, certainly the way that I do this, my proficiency with it is going to make a difference as well. But I need to set that direct intention. Come with me. Let's go. Stand up. Yep. Turn her around, walk. Or I lead her by the hand. Come this way. Pull her into the bedroom, spin her around. Pull her into me. Going for the kiss. Kissing, whether or not the first kiss happens on the date, outside, in the seduction house, in bedroom or whatever, this is one where it is vitally important that I do not mention it verbally. I do not say anything about the kiss. No matter how cool you think the line is, or whether you think you're being a gentleman and asking for consent and checking if it's okay. It's okay to go for a kiss. Yeah, it's not okay to grab a woman's head and force her to kiss you, right? But it's okay to lean in and attempt to kiss her. She can decide in that moment if she turns her head or backs away or she kisses you. No harm will be done by you making that attempt. And it's fairly obvious, if you've been on the date and you lean into her, that you're going in for the kiss. And she's aware that if you're a man that pulls the trigger, that's going to happen. If you're a decisive man, that's going to happen. And she'll decide in that moment, or maybe she's already decided whether or not she'll kiss you. But it's a powerful moment, extremely powerful moment to go in and kiss the woman. Right? I've talked to so many women about this, and they've described situations where, the guy just kissed me. And it was so hot, it was so confident, it was so, exciting. As opposed to, I remember I used to do this all the time, try and think of some cool way. One girl said to me, "What are you thinking?" And I said, I'll tell you after I kiss you. And then she went, "Oh, what? Okay." And then I kissed her and she said, "What were you thinking?" And I said, "I was just thinking about the right time to kiss you." And I thought that was like, fuck, ooh, ah. I thought it was really cool, but looking back at the look on her face when I said those things, it wasn't, right? Because I thought I'd been clever about it. She doesn't want you to be clever about the kiss. She wants it to have some smoldering tension, and then for the man to show his hunger, his directness, and his attraction, and to do it, right? So to lean in, to go for the kiss. And then it goes through most of what's going to happen next. Lift your arms up, and I take her top off. Turn around, get on the bed, open your legs, come on top of me, go down on me. I'm not saying that all these things happen in 8 seconds. Spread your legs wider, open your mouth more, look at me. These are all examples of verbal commands, right? Direct commands that I give to the woman in a sexual context. And this, puts you into the role of dominant, right? Not necessarily leather-clad, whip-toting BDSM dominant, but a man who is, with his dominance, creating a container and a space for her to then be submissive or feminine, right? It creates this polarity and it leads it somewhere. Again, I'm not attached to that in the sense that, if the woman says, "Get down, boy, I want to ride you like a pony," then, okay, do it. Some women will, once they're ignited, given permission, not feeling ashamed or judged in any way, will then happily jump in and show you aspects of their leadership or their, sexual will, which is a great thing to experience. And I'm not rigid about trying to micromanage every single moment. But in general, right, for most men, combination with most women, it's going to be much sexier and make it much easier for both of us if I tell her what to do. If I want her to flip around into doggy, I say, "Turn around." If I want to adjust her hips or angle, I say, "Lift your ass higher," or "Tuck your hips in." If I want her to, like she's lying a bit starfish, I say, "Put your arms around me, touch my back, stick your nails in." Giving these verbal commands massively intensifies the pleasure and intensity and polarity and sensation and excitement that's going to happen in the bedroom. And it's, again, part of this overall story, if we look at this from the beginning of the video, talking about the directness of your life, the attitude of directness, the habit of directness, of making decisions, of taking leadership, of making offers, making requests, of telling her what you think, stating your opinion, challenging her sometimes, leading her places, undressing her, being the one to kiss her, being the one to initiate the communication of how we can do this sex thing better and so on. After the sexual event, if you don't want her to stay the night or like to wrap things up and say, "Hey, so I got to get up in the morning early, let's get you a taxi and get you home," right? And then sending the text saying that was really fun, what a sexy night, I can't wait to see you again if I want to see her again. Or if not, saying that, but replacing I want to see you again with take care, kiss, to, finish that off or to continue it. And then to follow it up again and to be the man that is, proactive in building some kind of relationship, if that's what I want to have as well. This will extrapolate out into so many, many other areas that are outside the scope of this video when it comes to handling your woman, dealing with her moods, schooling her if need be, not putting up with shitty behavior, walking away when something's just not right for you, breaking up at the right time, telling a woman that you love her and you want to commit to her. Like, all of these things are going to getting down on one knee, if that's still a thing that people do. All of these things require the man to be direct, and they all express awesome things about that particular man. Without rigidity, being able to be malleable, not being attached to every single outcome, but shooting your shot, going for what you want, making your attempts and your offers over and over again, it becomes more or less second nature over time. You become that guy, the trigger puller, the guy that's going to get things done, the guy that women look at and goes, he means it. He means it. He's serious about this. It's in a fun way, but yeah, he's going to get something cooking. I'm interested to go into his kitchen. So, there you have it. Looking at 5 key areas where a man should be developing his directness, understanding that this is a pathway or it's an ethos, it's a philosophy of life. It's something that you can start developing right now, right, very quickly by going out and starting different direct steps when you're on your dates, working on taking key leadership, making clear decisions, and continuing that whilst also being humble enough to ask for someone's opinion or ask for assistance or, ask the woman to lead in certain situations where that might be really important. And then over time, and not that much time, you will become the guy that is a sexual prospect to women, right? Whether or not she decides to join you or cut things off, you'll only find out by taking those actions. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, right now enrollments are open for the Master Lover Toolkit, which is my 5-week comprehensive course on how to become a Master Lover. Over 5 incremental weeks where you get lifetime access to the full library of all the material that is presented, I will be showing you in explicit detail with very sexy models how to do everything pretty much that you need to in order to become literally world class. Starting from the basics, the foundations of foreplay, kissing, undressing, different types of positioning, the ways that you touch a woman, styles of communication to be able to, as I was talking about earlier, figure out what it is that she likes and to understand the nuances of each individual lady, through to all sorts of techniques when it comes to fingering, squirting, anal, blowjobs, toys, and so much more. Enrollments are only open until the 3rd of December, after which time I close the door and get on to coaching the guys during the course. I'm offering a whole bunch of bonus materials, plus live webinars, access to the Telegram Brotherhood, and so much more. So for full details on that, click the link in the description. You'll go to a page which explains all about it. Hope to see you in the course. And if not, I'll see you in the next video.